Okay, so Algonquin 2021, Marty and Scooter Don't Die in the Woods, The Revenge Tour. Day 2, Catfish the Burntroot. The two amigos, boom. So here is what I think our path was for day number 2. We started off at the bottom part of Catfish, well, middle part of Catfish.
Yep.
Turtle Rock. Is Turtle Rock that rock that you can barely see under the water that has all the paint scraped on it?
That could very well be.
Because we almost hit that. I think. So maybe I should have been looking at the...
We didn't have this map. It might not have been... or you did print this map.
I did. I printed all of these off so that I had them day by day. But I should have looked closer. There were a couple places, I think I remember, where there were rocks just below the surface.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
Especially when you're getting into some of these areas. I think there were rocks along here that were under the surface as well. And maybe up here too, actually. But anyway, so day 2, we started at Catfish and then sort of wound our way over. In 2020, when we came out on Burntroot, we camped at that point site. And then the next morning we got up and then started our way north. This time, rather than going across the lake, we came down and sort of did a piddle paddle across to see if there was anyone camping over here, because we wanted an island campsite. And it was filled, and then we came back here and there were people there. And I was like, son of a bee. But we ended up finding a nice site on that point. And that was actually a pretty nice campsite as well.
Yeah, very good. Sheltered, but a lot of free area under the trees.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was quite nice. So, and again, most of this was like our trip from 2020 up until about that point.
Yeah, so we did split off by mid-afternoon the second day. We were already going somewhere slightly different. So
mid-afternoon?
Yeah, is when we started going down instead of across.
Oh, did we get there by mid-afternoon? We probably did, eh?
I think so.
Yeah, I don't remember. I think we're typically hiking and in the boat for like 6 hours a day or something like that, right?
Yep.
Ballpark. Okay, so this was the start of day 2, and it started with an absolutely banger of a morning. And we were very lucky on our trip that the weather was basically perfect again.
Yeah.
Right. I don't think we got rain at all, did we? We might have got like some misty stuff at one point, but I don't remember. I think it was overcast at one point, but we certainly didn't get caught in a fucking hailstorm like we did in 2020.
The same route in 2020.
Yeah.
Yep. Absolutely.
So we were quite lucky with our weather this time.
And that on the right, that's the path that we looked over again and again, right? To find our, our spoon?
The path that we were looking was down that way.
That way. All right.
There was one that came out here to the point and another one that was over here. And this would be like back that way. Yeah. So yeah, just off that turn was where that path was for the spoon. But this is looking opposite ways. Basically, we took a picture out across the point that way and then turned around, and then that was the view out the other side, minus whatever, maybe 20 or 30 feet of campsite.
Yep.
Yeah. Boom. Okay, so first thing we did after we jumped in was started trucking south. I think we missed the rock there. I don't remember. We're probably like 10:30 or 11 o'clock before we left, I guess, were we?
Yeah, we definitely were a little bit earlier than the previous year, but we didn't. We weren't at the crack of
But we were also a good 45 minutes south of where we camped in 2020, right?
Yep.
So no qualms about leaving a little bit later. And we had no problem getting to the southern part of Burntroot either. So basically you paddle away and then you go through a little bit of zigzaggy stuff. I think you can cut through here. There are some places where you need to be careful going through down here, I think, because if the water is a little bit high, it can look like in canoe you can get through, but you actually can't. And then you need to get out and pull your canoe through like shin high water.
To the left of that first campsite, just up a little.
There? Oh, here. Yeah. That's it right there. So in 2020, we came back out around this way. And when we got down here, we saw people trying to lug a canoe down through this because there wasn't enough water to get through. So you definitely need to stay to the east and do the loop around. And as you come down around this way, I think in through here is where you get to like the lily pads and the grasses and stuff, right?
Yep. And there's lily pads on both sides there. And then at the kind of bottom of that bay that you loop in, I think that's the view that we have in the picture, center top.
Yeah, I think so. And I think the picture with you in it here is also in exactly that area, right?
Makes sense.
I think so. So then you end up hitting a couple of portages here. Down around this area, we had some luck fishing in 2020. I don't remember catching anything there last year, though.
No, we tried and failed.
Yeah, we tried and failed there. And at the time, I was thinking, because that was one of the places early where we had some success. Absolutely. And the fishing was so-so in 2020. Yeah. But in 2021, year two, when we did this, when we got off the loop back north and started going south, then we started hitting some fish, and that was kind of nice. So without belaboring, you get down through here, and then there are a couple of portages that you need to make. These aren't all uphill. There is a little bit of up and down, but it's no big deal. A lot of it looks like this, which was taken from under your canoe as you're carrying it, and that's me up in front blazing trail. Yep. And eventually you get such bad dank swamp ass that you need to basically strip off and hit the water, right? So I think it was this one, where we stopped and had our lunch. And when we did, we basically were like, okay, let's refresh here, and just stripped her off, and then went for a little swim at around to cool our dinglings, and had our lunch, and then packed up. So I don't remember you taking that picture, but it came out.
You seem to be posing for it. So
I seem to be, yeah. So all that I was wearing there were mutton chops and sandals.
It's all any man needs.
Well, we're still at a point where there are people that do canoe through here. Yeah. But whatever.
We did say hello to them as they came by. There were people, I guess, was it right as we were leaving or right as we showed up? One or the other. There was
I think it was as we showed up, but we caught them and passed them. Did we not?
Yeah.
Right. So we hung out and had our lunch and went for a swim and stuff. Maybe, what would you say? Half hour, 45 minutes.
Yeah, maybe like 45 minutes. We were definitely chilling. It was such a nice day, and had that swim, and yep.
Yeah, and they kept on trucking, but they clearly didn't have the horsepower we had, because we caught them after
short period of time,
another hour or something like that, and just trucked them. We saw otters that day, I think, but I don't know.
When we caught them. So I don't know. Do you have another a set of slides for this day?
I've got more slides for that day, but I didn't get any pictures of the otter.
Okay.
Because I think it was up here. No, it was here. It was here. I think we saw otters there, and they were along the shore. Is that right? They were in the water.
It's your first. It was your first spot where the choke point on Pearly Lake. Yeah, that's where we saw them.
Okay, because there was They were in the water as we approached because we overtook the other canoers.
Yeah.
In the water here, and then as we approached, they went to the shore, and they were basically ducking in around logs and stuff, and then they'd sort of pop their head up for a look, and then shag off again for a little while. But yeah, that was really nice coming out through here.
And we had caught them kind of halfway through Pearly Lake and had a word, and then they caught back up to us as we were otter gazing.
That's it, yeah.
The nice people. They were from somewhere like Ottawa and did trips every now and then.
Yeah, I think I vaguely remember that. I think they used to.
I think.
I think they did them as a family or something, right? Yeah. I think it was those sisters, I think, that were doing it, something like that. But yeah, anyway, so refer to our 2020 if you want to see stuff about this part. That's where we hit that 3 thunderstorms that hit at once and we got hailed on, was when we were coming through here the first year. The second year, it was smooth sailing. We just trucked it. When we popped out up at Burntroot, we came in and sort of paddled our way down around. What was what here?
So
I think that's no.
That has to be either the construction. Yeah, exactly. And it's, you can see some current there. So
that's going that way.
Oh, that, yeah. So that is that's a start. That's right. That's the start of that portage.
Yeah, you're right.
And we had fished there the year before and caught as well.
Yeah, those small ones there. But again, no luck this year. Second year, I think. But anyway,
isn't that the place where we kept the fish? Our first trip, because we fried fish on Burntroot.
Yep.
And so we had caught fish the previous portage, and then we put them back, and then we caught fish this portage, like within 100 meters of that. And that's what we
caught it. You caught that one. That's right. You caught that one. That's the reason why I had the memory that we didn't catch fish. It's because it was me. I didn't catch fish in that one. You
did, but it was a smaller one than.
Was it? Oh, okay.
And before the first portage, yours were bigger.
Right. Okay. So that was in 2020. This year we didn't get anything there.
Yeah.
That I remember. 2021, instead of coming across out here to Birch Bay, we turned south and sort of did our zigzag out around.
Yeah, we checked out the island campsite where there are 2 in the middle of the island there. The bottom one, no, above.
We had to look.
First island, the long island at the front, actually, there. So the bottom campsite of that is quite nice. I've stayed there before. It's very large. So we checked that out. I think it was taken. And then the next 2 down there were quite steep and they weren't taken, but didn't seem great. And then we checked out the bottom 2, and at least one of those were taken. And then we went over to that point.
Yeah. And then that point was taken as well.
Yeah.
And I remember us coming down around that island, and that's where this is, because there's a weird ass tree here, and that's it right there.
Yeah.
The lightning bolt tree, right? It's growing at a weird right angle here. So it was really bizarre. But anyway, we came out around and then came out to this point, and that's the campsite we ended up eventually taking, which looked like that.
Yep.
Which was excellent. There was lots of space.
Wow.
You could easily put your tent far away from mine so that you could sleep over my snores. So
you didn't wake me up once this year. That was great.
That was good. Yeah. So we pulled in there. I think after we set camp, I think we went out and fished for a little while.
Yeah, again, not particularly successfully.
Yeah, not successfully. And we tried over here in this little bay. So there's a little like inlet, little bay there. It's not an inlet. There's no river there. Little bay there. And then we tried out here, but no success in either place.
But when we went to dinner, which is a little bit before that picture, I guess, There it was. The spoon had been there the whole time. It was just packed up against the other spoon such that it looked like there was only one spoon, but there were two spoons. And so that made me happy.
There is no spoon. So
there was. There were two.
Two. Yeah. So we found two spoons, and joy, we could eat again. Yay. So we had our dinner and then got ready for our evening. This is as the sun is setting. Beautiful. And you took an absolutely wonderful picture of nighttime there. So this is the moon, super bright. So you can actually see walking around, and then it doesn't really do it justice for the stars, but you can certainly see a lot of the bright ones in that picture. Absolutely beautiful. Yeah. And this night especially, you could hear the loons calling to each other around Burntroot, and it was absolutely wonderful. So we hung out quite late listening to the loons that night, and just chilling around the fire and shooting the shit. And it was a wonderful evening.
It was good.
Yep. And that was the end of day number 2.
Lovely day.
Lovely day. And at the end of that day was when we started diverging from our path that we did in 2020. So everything from that point on is new.
And improved.